buy. From the hood, this type of money make you stay away. Type of money gon' let you. Big bank, tight, low bank. Big bank, tight, low bank.
Everything proper, no propaganda. Tropicana Gold Yard bandana.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, the newly minted $137 million man, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the San Francisco 49ers take on Russell Wilson.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Alert! Shot! Grenade! Four down! Grenade!
Good to see this man running again. Here's Chris Carson, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on second down, Wilson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead.
I I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Out to kick is Janikowski. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The numbers on the ground for McKinnon last week. 14 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown.
So he scored his 8th touchdown on the ground last week, and most guys I know, they want to get into round numbers. So, 10 is really the goal, and this is one sport where being selfish and scoring touchdowns is a good thing. Look for he and the offense to try and get him in there at least twice in this game. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They go play action here on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
We often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. A really nice catch, but bottom line, that should have gone for more yardage.
Give him a pass in the flat that allows him to get upfield. There's plenty of distance between him and all the defenders. Actually cost himself some yardage there. Yeah, they got the completion, but it could have been so much more.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 50, check 50. Check 50, check 50.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Move 15. Check 50, check 50.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's got a man open. That's Marshall. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield. for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Check 50, check 50. Bring out, bring out, bring out, bring out.
Now Rashad Penny, and an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
So let me make sure I have this right. He's already found the end zone once, and now he's ripped off a big chunk of yardage here on this one. His confidence is awfully high. So now I've got to put myself in the shoes of the defensive coordinator. Do I go ahead and sell out to try and stop him and force him to do something different? Or do I risk him having a big monster day against my defense?
Right back to him on first down. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now it's Penny. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter down here on a frigid December night. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third.
95, 95.
Now it's Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Eric Armstead in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers.
And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie up to make the tackle.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
Now McKinnon, and an alley to run. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
To throw is Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. And it's the former Seahawk, Malcolm Smith. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
McKinnon. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Play action. Garoppolo. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Over the middle to Garcon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes.
I don't want downplay the run, but that's exactly what I expected out of him coming out of college. When I look back at my draft analysis, one of the highest-rated players on my board, a 3-down back who can do everything. And one of the best parts of his game is what he does when he doesn't have the football, because he carries it really well, but he blocks equally as well as pass protects for his quarterback. I think he's going to be special.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Hey, over here.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Solomon Thomas, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you get a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Garoppolo to throw on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. On first down, Garoppolo. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Now it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Malcolm Smith there for the stop.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Wilson. They'll lock him with a grab over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Zebra. Bang out.
On first down, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And he's brought down. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling.
Check 50. Four down.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. He was trying to hit his big receiver, Brandon Marshall, and now it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
19.
To throw is Wilson. To throw again. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. His throw caught. What about the foul? And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Janikowski bangs it through. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where you see the final score there. 21-7, the final score. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Matt Ryan leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, Monday Night Football heads to Seattle with the Vikings trying to break a 4-game losing streak to the Seattle Seahawks. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys are out in front.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Gold now out to kick it away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
4 down.
Throwing is Wilson. He's got Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Play action. It's Wilson. Out to his left. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 23. Here's Wilson. Being chased out left. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall. And it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Hey, over here.
They go play action now. Wilson. Buying time to his left. Completes it to Dixon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And there was absolutely zero pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup.
They'll try and run forward with Penny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Check 50, check 50.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out to kick is Janikowski. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half, Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. On play action, now Garoppolo. And able to find Garcon. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Jaron Reed in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. The Niners on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Garoppolo now. He's got him in, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. DRC, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie getting in there to break it up. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They run it with McKinnon. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third and long, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped.
Ball start, offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're doing some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
That false start costly. Moves him back to the 9 now, first and goal. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Garoppolo now on third and goal. And that is incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And it is incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll be taken down at the 18. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he will get the first down as he's up to the 20-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use it more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Dancing to his left. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Oh, Wilson going to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeForest Buckner busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. On the run, it's Penny. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with 3rd down coming up.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. On 3rd down, Penny. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a